everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So, continuing work on the front bang here. I was noticing that in the right head turn here, that the line width of this shadow area right here was a little bit inconsistent. So I wanted to fix that up here real quick. I don't think it'll take very much. I just need to kind of line up this line of vertices so that they're about equally as far apart. Yeah, there we go. Because I think I can get away with just using this here as a good guide for what this upper right turn should look like. So I'll be heading there and trying to get everything to line up here. And this is one area where I think I can get away with consulting the mesh to help me figure out where all these spots are sliding down. But here we are. It's pretty straightforward. I just want to get this area nice and round. Should be able to raise it up a little bit at the top. And then everything should be good. So today I just planned on going through, getting more of this front bang done, and with any luck, we'll either finish it or get close to finishing it today. There are a lot of little details to take in on this area, and I always do like to spend a bit of extra time really making sure that everything is lining up and looking very nice. You know, with the area just being front and center in the middle of her face, and just certain parts of it even right between her eyes. So just always want to get this part looking very nice. Alright, yeah, I think that's doing pretty well. Let me get her chin in there and see if I like the way it's curving. So when I have her chin in there, I can see if it's all moving up the same amount as her head. And right now I think it is. So just minor adjustments here and there, and then I think I have that shadow area looking pretty good. And I can just continue on to the next one. Which I guess will be probably a little bit around the end here, and probably some up through here too. At some point I'll probably start paying a bit more attention to the top again. If I'm being honest, I actually think the highlight here already looks pretty good. I might not need to change much there. Let me see if I like it from this direction too. Because like I actually do think it makes sense for it to be moving just a little bit. Like, how should I explain it? Basically, when the head moves, it changes how the light hits the head. So it makes sense that the highlight would shift around a little bit. I don't insist that move quite as smoothly as some of the other areas. Because yeah, I actually think that looks pretty convincing. Could probably stand to move the shiniest part of the highlight a little bit further to the left. But otherwise, yeah, I'm already pretty happy with how all that's shaken out. We'll see if there's any adjustments I want to make a little bit later, but for now, I think this looks pretty good. Ah, it's nice when things go nice and simply like that. Maybe it's a bit much. Nah, this highlight just needs to move a little bit more too. I like the way it's moving on the upper right here, so let's have this layer, or this turn, follow that example a little bit, and we'll let the shiny part of the highlight go a little bit to the left. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. It's kind of staying toward the center, like if we assume the light here is just shining straight on her face here, then it makes sense that the highlight would try to stay in the center of her bang. So I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. So if I'm pretty happy with that, I can start kind of filling in this area between here. It'll help me get both this shadow area right, as well as kind of this lighter area on the side here. I'm not as focused on that area for the moment, though. It always gives me a bit of trouble, so... I'm trying to get a lot of the stuff around it looking right. Give myself as many clues as possible to figure out where that's supposed to live. So far, I don't really feel the need to go into that. So yesterday I started putting together the video, the time-lapse video, for the drawing of Zero that I did. And man, I can tell I had a lot more footage than usual there because it took like 8 hours to render. And that was just a test to make sure I liked the speed that I was speeding it up to. I was worried that it might be a little bit too fast. But I think it looks okay, so I'll go with that. So yes, my test rendering took 8 hours to do. So, it might be a day or two before I'm able to get the video out. Because I still want to put music on it and all this other good stuff. And then I have to just, I guess, hope that I don't mess it up. And that when I render it again and actually go back and watch it and make sure everything is fine, that it all is actually fine. And hopefully I can tell that it's fine before I render it, because, ooh, that's like another day that I'd have to delay just to correct a small mistake. This is where I'm like, man, how do other YouTubers handle this stuff? Doing YouTube has been more of a rabbit hole than I expected it to be. I always knew a lot went into video making and stuff, because I did dabble with it when I was like, probably like 16, but... oh man. It's a lot. It really is. Go give your favorite content creator a hug today. They probably need it. It was just so funny because I always figured that the rendering was based on, like, the length of the video. So I figured that, you know, the video's only like 20 minutes. It shouldn't take that long, but I guess it's the... I guess even though I sped up the footage a lot, so this way it would only be 20 minutes, the fact that there were a lot of frames to speed up must still be making it take a lot of time to render. It makes sense. It's like just not something I ever thought about too deeply. But definitely something to keep in mind. Definitely a sign that if I want to do a test video to make sure that I like the speed that I'm speeding things up at, that, you know, maybe I just take the first 10 minutes of footage instead of all of it. We're learning today. It's okay. It is ultimately how you learn. Just making a ton of silly little mistakes. And then being like, well, that was dumb. Let's not do that again. It's okay. It's important to be able to laugh at yourself. But it was a amusing little thing that happened yesterday. Just there sitting down, figure that I'd derp around at that for an hour or so, and then maybe either doodle or play some games or something. And then suddenly, oh shoot, that's gonna take 8 hours to render? Wasn't expecting that. So, right now I'm kind of adjusting the left or the right head turn a little bit. I went ahead and looked down the diagonal to see if I preferred the way this area that I'm adjusting right here, this shadow mostly, looked better in the upper right, or if it looked better on the right. And I determined that it looked better on the upper right, so I am fixing it up on the right side based on what I have on the upper right. So I'm hoping that that'll just make everything look a little bit better here. As always, I'm not in a super huge rush to finish this, so I just want to get everything looking very nice. Very pretty. Make sure everything's kind of aligning properly. Okay. So I might consult the mesh for this one, because there's something strange moving in this area, and I cannot quite identify it. So I'm going to do some very intense staring while I try to figure out what's going on here. A little mystery to be solved. Okay, I think I see it. At least part of it. I see part of it. But there's still some other spots to be seen here. So I guess something about this top area was spreading out. So it was being stretched horizontally. Hopefully once I fix some of that, that will fix a lot of problems. But I did remember seeing some more stuff that I didn't like closer to the bottom. So I want to find that too. Very important. I want everything to be lining up perfectly. Especially in these areas, just right in between the eyes. It's like hard to get more important than the hair right in between the eyes. You know, in terms of important hair, that anyway. Okay, let's see if all of that got the issues that I was seeing. It's always hard to tell when I'm zoomed into, you know, like 800%. Okay, this time I think the problem that I see is actually on the upper right turn. It's looking like this little strand here. There is a little strand there. Let's actually go into floating head mode, or floating face mode for a second here. Because there is a tiny, very lightly colored strand right through here that looks like it was getting very much elongated in my upper right turn. So I'm going to try to bring it back up here. And then we'll see if he looks a bit better here. Okay, I might have squished it a little bit too hard. It's better than it was, but I definitely squished it a little bit too hard there. Just cramming him into a tiny little space. Alas, poor little Strand. Okay, I think this strand might also be getting just a tiny bit squished. So I'll make him a little bit longer too. Oh, her hair just looks so fluffy. I'm glad that I've been able to keep much of that. It's all because I just go in and try really, really hard to keep everything lined up and all that good stuff. It takes a lot of time, but I do like the result. I don't think I could have achieved this result if I was trying much harder to go faster. You know, now that I look at it, I never realized just how much longer this part of the bangs is than all the other ones. But it is noticeably longer now that I really take a good look at it. I wonder if I noticed that in the past and just forgot, or if my adjustments just, I don't know, made it work out without me needing to explicitly know that. But it really is a bit longer than the other ones. Yeah. Good observations to make. As, it's like a lot of figuring out what this is proportion, and just making sure that everything is moving the same amount as everything around it. That's really what makes it a turn, rather than just stuff sliding around everywhere. That, and just taking a bit of time to notice where things would distort based on how things are turning. Like I was talking about a little bit with the highlight here just today, where it'd be easy to say that I could keep it facing the exact same direction and never have it really change shape, but it actually looks more like a turn when the shape is changed just a little bit there. Okay, I lied. We're gonna stick in floating face mode a little bit longer here. Oh no, we're not. Okay. I guess this will be a little bit easier to see once I actually put the shadows on, but this is actually correct. It looked like the highlight here was kind of expanding outward, but it must be something else, because I don't see that problem when I remove the head underneath. You know, the skin of her face. So that means that it's probably something else. So I'll just believe until it's time to add the shadows. But I'm not ready to add the shadows yet, so... if I end up having to change stuff later, you know, that's okay too. But for now, I think that is what is happening. Just the way it's playing with some of the shadows on the face. It makes it look like something isn't lining up correctly. Okay. So I think I have that strand looking pretty good now. So I guess I'll go for this one coming down here. You can kind of see that, oh, it's actually true here too, that this little area is a wiggling. And I do not want it to be a wiggling. I want it to be straight. I didn't realize that I had made that mistake on the top head turn as well. So I'll fix it here first, and then I'll do the upper right. There we go. That line is like super straight now. No, there's still a little wiggle. Do not want any little wiggles. Only straightness. Okay. Yeah, that's probably good enough. Over here, I could probably get away with a little bit of wiggling, but I didn't do it on the right head turn, so no wiggling. I think it looks good on the right head turn, so I will believe in the no wiggling future. Also trying to kind of clean up the outer edge of this bang here. Kind of smoothing some of this out here. Making sure that everything is looking pretty nice through there, and I think it is. We'll see if I agree when I actually get around to zooming out. It can be kind of hard to tell just how clean it is when you can really see all of the aliasing in the pixels, but it is a start. And I need to get in this close in order to adjust some of those vertices properly. Otherwise, they get a little bit too close together and it's hard to move them precisely. It might just be me and my very unsteady hand, though. Nope, we still got a little wiggle here. I guess yeah, the top looks like it wasn't quite connected or meshed completely properly. I remember saying when I was doing all the meshes that if no problems are found, then it means there was no problem, but sometimes I do find those little problems that maybe I should fix, but sometimes I just can't be bothered. Or maybe it's a very, very slight problem, but not enough of one that I can work up the effort to actually go and fix it. That's the thing with meshes, is that what they do is important, but I don't actually work with them, each individual one, for an extended period of time or anything. I tend to just poke them for a little while, and then I just move on to the next strand, or all of that stuff. So it kind of makes me just a little bit lazy with maybe correcting some things that would make things a little bit better, or what might make things a little bit easier for my future self. The future self that has to poke these strands again. That's okay. It's just a little bit of mild inconvenience in the end, which is why I don't normally go back and adjust it that much. It really does have to be 1 bothering me, or be 2 just such a very, very quick fix that it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now that I look at the tips down here, I don't actually like the way that this end is curving. So I'm gonna pull them out just a little bit here. Especially near the top. The top I think I'll just do individually though, because it doesn't have to move very much for 1, and for 2 I do not want to touch this strand right there. There we go. Okay, yeah, that curve looks nice. Let's see if it's the same kind of curve as here. Oh yeah, that's definitely better. Yeah, and I think it lines up well there. So perfect. I can definitely call that done. Alright. So now I'm going to start working my way up into these highlights. The ones that eventually connect into the side hair and all that stuff. Although honestly, as they are now, they don't look that bad. Probably won't have to do that many corrections. Just taking a look around and seeing what I want to change. Seems like when I was doing a lot of the big picture corrections that I just happened to get a lot of these into roughly the place that I wanted them in. So now it's just time to get all the line widths and all those smaller details that require me to zoom into 1000% in order to see clearly. Time to get them in. Okay, looks like it is being squished a little bit up there, so I probably just pushed it a little bit too far. That is something I do occasionally, so that's why I do try to keep my various movements here just softer and... Sorry, my nose has been very itchy this morning. But yes, that's why I try to keep the movements that I make a little bit softer. So this way I can just keep pushing it in one direction and don't have to worry about bringing it back if I push it too far. Okay, so there is something about the way that some of these strands are moving that I really dislike. I think I'm just going to take it one at a time here. So part of it is this red part. It is squirming. Squirming in a way that I do not particularly appreciate, so let me actually take one more look across the diagonal to give myself a better idea of what needs to change here. Okay. I think I understand, and I think that is the first spot I want to fix before I go too hard into stuff here. There we go. Looks like I put some vertices around there when I meshed it, so makes it nice and easy to move. Good job, past self. Saving me again. So now I'm trying to line up the vertical position of a lot of this with the top head turn. It got pushed a little bit higher up when I was moving things around. Looks like it's still... I'm looking at the point where where like this thicker one and then this tiny little thin one kind of connect right here. And looks like it needs to be a little bit lower. There we go, something like that maybe. Let's take a look. Yes, much better. I don't mind that the corner of this highlight is a little bit higher than it is in the top head turn. I think that is appropriate for how the head is moving. Okay, yeah, so far so good. So, next. I think it's time to kind of get this area that goes underneath the side bang finally looking nice. So I'm going to take a quick look at how it moves relative to everything else. And then I'm going in. Okay. I think I see the problems. Let's fix them. Let's get everything looking good here. So first, I think that this side is coming out a little bit too strongly here. So we're gonna squish everything down just a little bit. And now that it's thoroughly squished, I'm gonna go ahead and manually move some vertices on the side here without the brush. Just to kind of clean up the edge and make the curve a little bit more smooth. I have a little bit more control when I don't use the brush. So that extra control will make it easier for me to just maintain that curve and, well, I guess less maintain it, more smooth it out. And get it to where it needs to go. Make everything nice and smooth. Okay, now there's a bunch of stuff there that's going to stop me from properly seeing, so we're going to go into a nice, funny bald mode. And I'm just going to take out all the things that's probably going to give me a little bit of trouble. Oh no, we can keep those. Let's take out these, though. Okay. So now I should be able to very, very clearly... Actually, let's take out this one, too. And... that one. Okay. So now I should be able to very, very clearly see what's going on with the movement of this little spot right here. Because I felt like I was getting very distracted with some of the other stuff that was going on. Well, and going on in all those layers. But it looks like I actually had it pretty close to correct. So that's good news. You can even see that I'm feeling confident enough to use the brush to at least get some of the big ideas down. Bald Shalom, you always look so mutant when I don't get rid of all the hair and I just leave the ears on, happily overlapping your eyes. Oh, it's so cursed. But it does help me see, which is the important part here, so important to do. I just want to take away all the distractions. So this way I know exactly how it's moving and what needs to change. But it looks like I have everything pretty good, so I'll just finish kind of touching up what I have, and then I'll turn everything back on and make sure that everything is still looking good, even with all the other layers back on. After all, the view and how things look with the other layers on is the only part that I really care about. I do not intend to be having all these random funny bald spots in the final version. I intend for all of her hair to be on. So that is ultimately what I care about. How things look with certain parts of hair off, not that important. Not at all. So right now I'm just going to take a little bit of time to kind of smooth this curve. Not quite smooth yet. Okay, there we go. That's pretty smooth. So now let's take a look. See how everything is looking here. Yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty good. So I think I can go turn the other hair back on now. Hooray! I'm still gonna leave some of the strands that I had hidden just because, don't really need them right now. I mean, when I was working on the upper left, I actually hid all of them, and I probably will at some point. But for now, this is fine. Okay, and I think that's actually the front bang. Just about done. Now I just need to worry about how it's connecting over to here. And once I understand that, then the front bang will be complete. But you can see there is a pretty hefty wrinkle right through there. You can see it even more clearly in motion if you look closely there. While I move things around and check things out and do some very intense staring while I figure out what I need to do in order to fix all that up. Okay, but I think I know exactly what I need to do. So I'm going to worry about this connection now, and as I work on it on the front bang here, I'm also going to go move on to the spot that it connects to and work on them together. They belong together after all. This is where they connect. There we go. It's looking mostly straight. Maybe just a little wrinkle right there still. Okay, and then I still want to adjust a little bit on the outer edge here. Just to kind of really make this curve look nice as it is. Yeah, there we go. Does that look nice when I move it around? Yeah, I kind of like how it's being lifted up just a little bit here. I think that's pretty good. Now it's just a matter of making the tunnel look nice. I think that will be the next order of business. Where I do want it to open up just a little bit here, but I am not convinced that I have it doing that right now. I think I might have it opening up just a little bit too much. So I want to go through and make the little curve right through here very nice and smooth. I'll worry about all the other parts later, because I know some of these vertices are connected to some other parts too. But one thing at a time. I'll get that part looking good, and I will just adjust everything else accordingly. Okay, yeah. There we go. It's not looking too wrinkly. Is it all in the right place? Do I feel like it is opening up quite enough? Maybe not quite enough yet. Hopefully that'll even fix the one little wrinkle that I see in there. Just right over here. Hopefully straighten that out a bit. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Let's take a look around. Yeah, how about here? Okay, so I think that's good for the tunnel. And now I want to take another look at these little parts here that kind of go underneath all the hair there. I'm especially paying attention to the diagonal, because I know that the diagonal is like the original picture. So once things look good along the diagonal, I know that there's a good chance that I have things in the right place. And if I need to adjust the upper or right turns accordingly, then I can do so. Yeah, but I think that looks pretty good. Now let's see. I think the next step is figuring out how these shadows right through here should line up. Okay, looks like right now the shadow right here is getting really, really squished. So we gotta pull this out like a lot. Like a lot. Way bigger movement than I normally do. Especially when I'm, zoomed in to 800%. But it's okay. It really needs to move. They got super, super compressed there. And I think because this is an upward turn, I want a little bit more of it to show. I just want it to be a little bit wider. I think I can use the top head turn to kind of help me figure out how much bigger it should be. Okay, yeah, that's so far so good. Ooh. That looks a bit silly, though. Oh my. Yeah, okay, maybe it's a little bit too big. Just a little bit. Okay, we'll slide this on over. There's like a little pink spot on this layer that kind of sticks in to the shadow. And I think that can help me divide things up and make it look more size appropriate here. More proportionate. Okay, and I'm also not wholly convinced of the angle that I have going here. Because it's like if I compare to the right head turn, it's really, I don't know, it's really going in. Covering much more of her face there. Let me see, what does it look like over here? Just slowly, slowly turn her head. So this way I can get a good look at how everything looks. Okay. I have some ideas. Get a fairly small brush, and I just kind of want to push these guys right here in just a little bit. I want to make her forehead look a little bit rounder here. I'll worry about cleaning up all the wrinkles and stuff after I'm sure that I have the angle correct. But yes, I do think that helped considerably. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's go in and make this look nice now. Okay, and now that I've gotten this curve mostly cleaned up, I think it should look pretty good. I'll zoom out and check after I finish getting the last little bit of it. Yeah, there we go. Getting it nice and smooth here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that curve. Looks so much nicer than it did. Or just right before this. Okay. So now that I got the curve looking nice, oh yeah, I like that already. Just the way it's sitting on the bang there. I still need to fix the shadow, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm on to something with that. Just once I fix up the shadow. Let's go fix up the shadow right now, in fact. And I can worry about this guy after I have that shadow fixed up. It'll make everything squirm in my peripheral vision less. Because, oh man, can things get a little bit squirmy when I just have, like, an entire area just not matching up at all. I have this entire shadow here that's everywhere else, just completely hidden. And so when I see it disappear, everything just looks very strange to me. So I gotta get it back in there before I can really see anything else, I think. And hopefully once it's back in there, I'll be able to see a little bit more clearly. But man, I really have to push all these poor little vertices together. I hope they enjoy their little snuggle pile here. Because they're gonna be real close together. I think I can probably get away with moving the side bang just a little bit as well. Just enough to show some of what's going on underneath there. Just because I don't think I can get some of these vertices any closer than I already have them. Okay, that's super, super wrinkly, wow. Oh my. Okay, let's start making just a teeny tiny bit of room here. So that this way, hopefully I can start smoothing out the curve for this shadow as well. Unfortunately, I cannot zoom in any further, even though I kind of want to. I guess 1200% is as far as you can go. That's fair. Okay, if I can just... Let me see, how does it look over here? Yeah, it'd be nice if I could spread them out just a little bit more here. Like I said, that is a pretty extreme little snuggle pile, and I got going here. But I do kind of feel like I already have some of these vertices like practically on top of each other. I don't know if I could spread them out any more than what I already have here. I'll see how it looks. And if it does not look good, I will figure out some kind of shenanigan. Okay, I think that should be alright. Let's take a look. Yeah, I think that looks okay from this far out. Okay, and I was right, that part of it was also just that I changed how the side bang there was covering up those underneath layers. So I do need to squish this in just a little bit more here. I need it to follow the same kind of curve that the right head turn does. If it doesn't, it will look perhaps a little bit silly. Yeah, it does look like it's getting a little bit thicker. Maybe a little bit too thick. I think I know what I was thinking when I was doing this yesterday. But, it's not working out, so we're gonna try something else. Very important to keep trying things until you find something that works out. I feel like this is true in many, many aspects of life. I think people underestimate just how hard it can be to actually know that something exists and you like it. You have to open yourself to many, many experiences in order to find such things. So you just gotta keep trying things. Keep trying things until you find all the things you like. And it's easy for brains to dismiss certain ideas as being perhaps a bit silly, or, you know, someone like me can't do something like that, or that kind of thing. But, I don't know. Sometimes it's worth trying anyway. You never know. Life can be very surprising. It'll throw all kinds of things at you to keep you on your toes. Sometimes I think the universe just likes to troll. Just likes to troll people as much as possible. Get the popcorn ready. Watch the sparks fly. Just likes to go out there and cause trouble, see what happens. Alright, so now I'm going back and adjusting this shadow again. Since I did move the hair above it quite a lot, now I have a little bit more space to work with. So now there's a little bit less of a snuggle pile going on down here. Yeah, I think that's fine, but it's a little bit wrinkly, so let's make it a little bit less wrinkly here. Try to figure out how these triangles are supposed to go. Everything gets a little bit chaotic near the end there. It's funny, I keep the triangle so neat up here, and then it's like down here I just had no idea what to do. And so everything just becomes pure chaos. Pure chaos, but I think I got it. I think this triangle's something like this. It's okay, I've gotten pretty good at wrangling chaos here. I am a mother of two, after all. Okay. I think that's alright. Let's go and see how it looks. I think that's pretty good. So before I end for today, I think I would like to try to figure out this shadow area kind of sitting underneath the bangs there. I think I have it pretty close. Just not entirely happy with how it's moving upward. It kind of has a quality to it that makes it feel like it's expanding rather than simply moving. Like it's getting bigger rather than it just appearing bigger because this is a turn. And so that is the feeling that I would like to try to correct. But the only place that I feel like it's not lining up with is the right turn here. And I think part of that is actually, strangely enough, the side bank. I'm going to lift up that corner, and I think once I fix the shadow in that area, that should actually help. Yes, I think it actually does. Most excellent. I'm glad that I was able to properly read the situation there. I just felt like that the very top of this little strand here was just getting a little bit almost flat looking. Okay, and yep, that actually did help quite a bit there. Let's take a look on the diagonal here. Still not completely satisfied. This is where I have to do some investigation to figure out what it is that I don't like here. 'Cause I'm not entirely sure what it is. I feel like everything should be working, but it is not. So there's just this minor, mysterious thing that is still just making this look like it's getting bigger, rather than showing us more because her head is tilting upward. Let's do some very intense staring and see what I can glean here. Okay, I think I see it. There's a tiny little angle coming off here that's going like straight this way. I think I needed to have it curved down a little bit. I think that's actually attached to here. Not quite like that, but that's the idea. I'm gonna hide the front bang for a second, so this way I can actually see what I'm doing. And we're just not gonna worry about the rest. It's fine. It's completely covered by the bang. Yeah, that helped a little bit here. Now, I do see something a bit strange. Just in the way this is all fitting together. Let me take a look here. Okay, let's take a look with the chin, and hopefully that fixed whatever it was that I was seeing. If it was just a minor angle issue, then that's incredibly silly, but I'm glad I fixed it. And indeed it was. Now all is well. It's always funny how things work out like that. But I do think that is where I will end for today. So, thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice, and I will take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.